going back in time a little bit, we find ourselves with Mehru and with Theraline, with Christopher, and with Gwendi. And we are where? When?
We be limping, trekking back through to the train station from.
You can be if you want. You can be at the train station.
We do not.
I would like to talk on the way to the train
Okay, you are
station.
walking. You're.
So we spent the night in the house,
Yes.
and those of us who were having issues stopped. I healed myself.
Your legs are better.
If you consent, I will heal your legs.
And if you don't consent, you'll be left here.
No pressure.
No pressure.
He consents to the request.
Nice.
Cool.
And probably collapses in
A few notes. His song is very weak. He is emaciated and starving to death. As you're healing him,
We have food, sir.
as you start to heal him, it's like, oh, I'm just going to put the. You're missing stuff, dude. He needs nutrients. He needs nutrients.
Mehru, give him a granola bar.
Okay.
And something else. Give him something.
At a certain point, your body starts rejecting nutrients if you are swallowing it. But she might be able to heal him, or at least to have him keep the food down. You're feeling better.
So what exactly do you give an expert?
What kind of food do we bring? Oh.
Yeah, specifically what kind of food?
Well, we're gonna have to eat some of the donkey meat because
That one's not gonna
it's not
last.
getting any pressure. And poor Boo Boo, he's
not
got a
gonna
survey
carry
slip
it
with you.
home.
Probably some form of bread and/or cheese products that we brought with us that keeps fairly well on the road.
Okay.
And Boo Boo.
So I assume this has been how the meat has been cooked and everything's ready, and
Yeah.
then Christopher takes his first bite of the bread, the cheese, and the meat. I have been living on mushrooms and tree bark for over a month.
Oh.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Why
pleasure.
have you been eating off of mushrooms and tree bark?
Well, there was an occasional rabbit.
Why have you been trekking through the wilderness and eating stray rabbits and shrooms? Tripping, bro.
At this point, are we still at the night of the encounter, or are we on the road?
I would say you're probably.
We could have fed you the night before. That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that if this is the night before, then he's kind of like, I really need to rest and sleep.
We've got plenty of time tomorrow.
Okay.
So then.
We can cut to walking.
The next morning,
So-
we're all healed and
Very,
rested
yeah.
and fed.
By the morning, I'll say there's enough there that you can piece everything back together again. And
Now tell us that you were arrested. What brought you here? How are you so? Why were you like this?
why it's
Why?
They just
why-
gestured to all of
why-
you.
What happened?
Did you know any of either of the two men
Yes,
that we encountered?
both of them. One of them.
there were
One of
two men.
them.
One was Horn. One was someone you'd never met before, but he was carrying
Oh,
the mall.
that's what I meant. So I knew one of the men, and I knew the Legion of Shadows that the other one carries.
Shadows. What are they?
Oh.
You don't know what shadows are. They're demons, essentially. What?
Hello.
I don't know if I know that. Do I know that?
Yeah.
You've heard the word.
I know it though. Right? Of course I do.
Yeah. Theraline.
Hello.
They are, but
Dark angels.
neither Legion nor the Mall was ever referred to as Thelal. It was
Oh.
referred to as Theraline because they are many.
Do you know that term?
No, I can't say that I do.
They're as close to demons as they can be without being actual demons, from what I've gathered. They're very powerful, dark, evil
Creatures.
And
Monsters.
they exist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They speak and they can form deals with people to where they linger in their mantle or about their mantle and about their person, and sometimes can control them fully. They're very, very powerful. It's a good thing that you did not attack yesterday. All of us would have died.
Why were you attacking? If that's not why.
It's a bit of a long story.
We have a 3-hour walk ahead of us.
Remind me, what month are we in?
This is the month of barley moon, beginning of the month of barley moon. Summer is ending. This is sort of like September.
I'm sorry, I have not. I apologize. I have not properly introduced myself.
Oh yeah, we would.
Neither have we.
Yeah.
I am Christopher.
Do you have a last name, Christopher?
Zeman Hajik. I come from the city of Takma, although I was born and raised in Portmanteau, across the Straits of Oren.
I'm Mehru Justice.
Theraline Toro. Varden Toro.
And this is
Gwendi Varden something.
Gwendi.
I lost my.
Nice.
Courageous.
Gwendi, Varden Torgus at your service.
I assume at least one of you is from here.
I am. This is my home. Is my home. It's complicated.
Yeah, for Gwendi as well.
Mm-hmm.
But like this house.
We're walking.
The house we were just. I pointed that. This house.
That house.
This is my house. You slept in my house.
And Gwendi lives in that village, that godforsaken village. Well, not anymore, but.
I am very thankful to have met you, and I appreciate the hospitality you've shown to me, the food and everything. Thank you so much. But to your question, about 8 months ago, I was in Takman doing business for my two uncles. I am a merchant by trade in the city of Takman, but I have family that stayed in Portmanteau. My father, my mother, my brother, and my two sisters. While I was in Takman, I received a communication, a letter from a neighbor that one of the other man that you saw, his name is Danel Zimrida. He was my neighbor.
Is he a friend?
We grew up together. We would play games, we would race, we would do all sorts of things. Then when I was 12, I went off to university in Taiwan, learning business and trade. And I never saw him. I rarely see him when I would come back for summer trips. But this a friend that had communicated to me said that a dark presence came toward Matthew. I assume that's probably this shadow that you speak of.
Seems very likely.
Came to my hometown and threatened to destroy the entire village.
It seems super likely that that's the way the shadow was. Yeah.
Threatened. What did it want?
That checks out.
It wanted a ship to sail across the Straits of Oren.
To the realm? Is that to the realm?
Well, that's technically the realm too, but the
Oh.
main part of the realm.
Okay, so the main there.
Because they're
Yes.
basically across the inner sea.
Mm-hmm.
They come up past it.
Okay.
And it was Donnell that volunteered to show this shadow a boat, and the boat belonged to my father.
Mm.
They set out to see my father piloting the boat, and no one ever saw him again.
Was your father on the ship?
That's what the report said.
I'm sorry.
He is presumed dead. But that is not the worst of it. Apparently the next day, Donnell returned without this shadow. I don't know what happened to it.
And without your father?
No, and what pain and what suffering we've had to endure.
What happened when he came back?
My younger brother, Mark, he's very impetuous and very much loses his temper. He, according to our friend, our cousin Jan convinced him to burn down Donnell's house
While he was there?
while he was gone.
For dealing with the shadow, or?
For taking our father and presumably leaving him for dead.
Mm.
They burned the house down, killing Donnell's parents, brother, and sister,
Oh.
without knowing they were in the house.
It's awful.
When Donnell returned and found out, he proceeded to one by one kill every single one of my family. My mother, my brother, my two sisters, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, all who lived in Ord Mantu, gone. They say that he carried in his hand sharp sickles and scythes that he used for farming. And that's how he did it.
Were you there?
I was in Takwan.
That's
I was working. I was with my uncles. Obviously, I could not. I had no idea. It wasn't until 3 days later that I received communication.
I'm so sorry.
And then Donnell apparently went off across the straits in search of this thing, this shadow. Whatever these beings are capable of that you speak, I know Donnell did not exact revenge using their power. And it is for that reason, and that alone, that I have pursued him for 8 months. I have traveled through desert lands, barren wastes. There was a time where I had to stop and go to Ver Inn for work. I ran out of funds. I had to work, and that's when I heard the reports of a second man, this horn that you speak of. They were traveling north, and I went on their trail, slow to try everything, to make sure I knew where everything was, where they went. I wanted to be sure. I did not want to turn the wrong direction. But by the time I made it to the Great Wood, my money was gone. My food was spent. And for the last month, I've been living on nothing but tree bark and mushrooms. To find Donnell and bring him to justice by any means necessary.
overwhelming story.
What do you intend to do now?
I have nothing. I have no money. I have no food. I know if I stay here, I will likely perish. And now that I have been confronted with this thing that is far too powerful, I thought I had that moment. He was in my grasp. I could have ended it if it wasn't for that hammer, that creature, that maul.
He would have killed you. Easily, I'm afraid. It's no laughing matter at all. I'm a mage of the realm.
I've heard of mages that I've seen one or two wandering the streets of Takman before. Where are you all from? I know you're from here, but you're not from around here, I assume.
I'm not. I am from the Bosron Empire.
I've heard tales of your homeland.
They're all true, even if they're all awful.
But those are our original homes, but we are students at the University of Wand,
Yes.
which is where we are
Returning to.
now.
Then, if you don't mind the burden of another mouth to feed, I would very much like to go with you, because there is nothing here, and I cannot make it back to Takman with what I have.
We have provisions to help you get to the train station. Certainly, we won't let you starve.
Appreciate that.
I'll tell you that where we're going is very dangerous.
Tell me about it.
Like I said, the shadows are more dangerous than you think. I certainly could not take it on by myself, and I'm a mage. But likely every mage together in Wand would struggle if it came to a fight flat out.
And there are more. It's not just the ones in the mall. There are more, and none of them are friends of Wand.
And to be frank and honest, it's not the first time a shadow has come to Wand. The mall was in Wand before, I presume that he went into or started dealing with your acquaintance. I spoke with him there at one point.
This
Them.
creature speaks.
They speak. Many of them together.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
It serves them at times to put on a facade of, if not humanity, some sort of personhood. It's easier to get people to trust them and work with them and
So they
sympathize, do what they want them to do.
They sometimes speak in the singular first person. There's many of them together that dwell within the mall, I guess. I don't really know how it works.
And this University of Wand, does it have books, resources that one could learn more about these shadows?
A little bit.
If you wish to learn more about shadows, you'll have to speak with our friends who know more than I do about them.
There are a few people who have first-hand experience.
But I would say I don't want to aid you in murder if that's what your intent is. But if you wish to bring him to justice, yes. It's a fine line sometimes. but we're no friend of the shadow.
I assumed as such.
Come with
Fictional
us
character.
to Want, and we will tell you what we can of the shadows and.
And if there is a concern about having another mouth to feed that may be useless, I can bring my skills to bear to help in anything. He's been working in the market for a long time. He's met all kinds of people.
Well, you won't be the first person to join our party. Ain't that right, Gwendi?
Yeah. Yep.
Is that
Yeah,
what you want?
Whatever I can do, I will do it.
And I assume you
What?
you want to leave.
Yes, I want to not die of starvation.
We will not let you die of starvation.
Awesome.
What are your plans?
To stay with you guys for now.
Is there anywhere you'd rather go than back?
I have absolutely nowhere. I have never been beyond the woods directly around the village. This is
Then
all new to me.
you will come with us.
Thank you.
We'll take you back with us, and we'll figure out what to do from there. But nowhere is safe, but Wand is safer than most.
I don't know about that, but nowhere.
It's
is safe
safer
for
than
sure.
here.
It's safer than here, and you definitely have beds there.
Do people eat other people there?
Not as far as I know.
I really need to hear this. Tell me. People do not eat other people here.
No. Nobody eats other people there.
It's that moment of hesitation.
If it does happen, it happens on the down low. It's
Hey!
not.
I've never heard a whisper of that. That's why I was so appalled at your village.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of all the horrors I have seen in my travels, especially in the Great Woods, I have not encountered cannibalism thus far.
Did you go through the village?
I not this village that this
Don't.
Yes,
Don't ever
we are
come back
going
here.
to go shoo
Yeah.
around it.
When we first came here, I thought they were just starving and needed.
Well, they
are starving, but I thought they were starving and needed help with their slight animal problem, and I was willing to help them. And then I felt that they wanted the meat on my bones, and I felt less sympathetic.
And then they followed us into the woods and tried to kill us. So that was
killed them
kind of
right back.
confirmed. She killed them right back. She killed one of them right back. And then the monsters that live in the woods killed the other one.
But they left her alone because I guess they like you.
Great story.
I don't know if they like me. I don't know, but the monsters didn't attack me, and so I'm feeling a little bit optimistic for our walk here. We did run into their tracks.
Yeah.
We did run into their tracks the
And
whole
also
way
your
here.
house isn't trying to kill me anymore, so that's nice.
It wasn't my house. I mean, it was my house, but like, it's not. It wasn't the house that was trying to kill you. It was.
It's adopted.
It wasn't the house. It was the dust, shadow fungus on the walls.
The shadow fungus. It hasn't even been here in a long time, and it still tried to kill me.
They tend to do that.
And it was awful.
I saved you.
I know. Why are we blaming each other?
Excuse us.
Anyway.
Excuse us, we're not fighting.
Well, yeah. So yeah, let's go on. Da 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 da.
Da da da. Okay, and that you walk on out. You get to where the train is. You wait.
Yeah. You do not want to share about your trauma?
I feel like we could talk about it later.
Cool.
The two of us.
Yeah.
It's just we can talk about it later.
Suffice to say, you sit at the rails for a long time. It's cold. Do you occupy yourself by
Trauma dumping?
trauma dumping? And at this point, I'm only going to say you guys trauma dump or you don't trauma dump. I don't.
We don't. I'll talk about it later.
Okay. And you put up the flag that shows that there's human beings here, because don't want to stop in case there's cannibals leaping out.
That's fair, but also.
And the a train at last comes and stops, and you guys show silver and get aboard.
All aboard.
Yay.
And
Gwendi, this is called a train. Sorry.
the train takes you back the way you came.